Hi guys, my name is Jatan Agarwal and today's video is about the best watch brands and the best watches under the 1 lakh rupee mark. Now for the international audience that is about 1100 US dollars, so maybe you can assume that we are discussing about watches that are around the $1000 mark, and it is a very important category for all the watch enthusiasts, because until and unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you've actually started at this place, right? So at this price range, you actually have a lot of options. You have a lot of watches out there. You have a lot of watch companies out there, and you have a lot of good designs, especially in the quartz category. Now, this price bracket is also extremely important because this is the price bracket which actually tells you whether you will be pursuing this as a hobby and going bankrupt in the future, or whether you will buy maybe one or two watches and decide that this is not for you and save yourself a few $1,000,000 in the long term. So let's get started with this video. So guys, in this video, I won't be discussing your normal fashion watch brands. I actually want to talk about brands that are into watches, that are serious about watchmaking. So we will of course start with the first one, which is Casio. Now Casio has a huge line of G-Shock watches. They've also recently started making automatic mechanical watches. They have taken the movement from Seiko. But the thing is, Casio has a lot of options in this price range, and these watches will last you your lifetime. These watches are very well made, they're rugged, they're durable. The G-Shock line is very famous, but they do have other options as well. So Casio, of course, has to be in this list, and that is why Casio is our first watch brand if you're getting into this hobby of watch collecting. Now, Casio comes from Japan. But from Japan, there is another brand that is very famous and is making beautiful watches at this price range, which is Seiko. Now, Seiko offers you mechanical watches as well at this price range. There are GMT complications that you can get, open heart pieces. There are some serious good watches that you can get at this price range. I am actually amazed by the quality that Seiko delivers at this price range. And for a lot of you out there, Seiko is your first serious watch that you have ever bought in your life. Especially in a country like India, I'm pretty aware Seiko is one of the major reasons why people get addicted to watches, and Seiko makes beautiful watches, and they are widely available in different colors, in different designs, at the sweet price point of under 1 lakh rupees. The next watch brand that I want to talk about is Citizen. Citizen also makes beautiful watches at this price point, and you have a lot of collectors out there whose first watch was a Citizen watch. So Citizen, Casio, Seiko, I would say, are the three big names from Japan, and they all feature on this list. Now, the next watch brand that I want to talk about is from Switzerland, and it is Tissot. For a lot of watch collectors, Tissot is actually their first Swiss mechanical watch or their first Swiss watch. And Tissot has some bragging rights over there. Swatch Group has done exceptionally well with the positioning of the brand Tissot. And Tissot is actually, for a lot of people, the gateway drug into Swiss watches. With Tissot, you definitely have the very famous PRX collection out there. And I personally have Tissot T-Touch, which I absolutely love and adore. I think that's a very different and unique watch. There are plenty of options in quartz, in mechanical category, and Tissot is, I would say, checking the right boxes for a lot of watch enthusiasts, especially when it is their first or second watch. And I think Tissot is doing a fabulous job at this price range. There is another company that I really want to discuss in this price list because it is doing well in India, according to me. I'm seeing it in a lot of stores, and I'm seeing it on the wrist of people as well. And that is Victorinox. Victorinox, for some reason, has been able to penetrate the Indian market. The offerings are good. The price proposition is excellent. And that is why I would put Victorinox on this list. It does feel like an acquired taste because the offerings that they have are limited, of course, due to the size of the brand. But if you like the watch, if you see that, the watch suits you well, the watches are absolutely well made. I've seen them in person. I was actually even planning to buy a Victorinox. Unfortunately, I cannot wear so many watches at once, and that is why I skipped on it. But Victorinox is definitely in this list and is definitely doing well in India at this moment, because I've seen it on the rest of serious watch collectors. Another brand that actually got me interested into luxury watches is Movado. So the problem with Movado is that people in general do not like it because it's more quartz oriented. But I think if you are getting into collecting watches, you want something that, looks very good, looks very premium. Movado is right up there, and Movado watches actually are well made. I mean, it's not as if they are cheap, flimsy watches. And in my honest opinion, Movado is doing a tremendous job with the design language that they have. which they have actually maintained over the years. That design language is actually helping them a lot. If you see a Movado, you know it's a Movado, and that tells you a lot about a watch brand. A similar thing has happened with Moser as well, where if you see a Moser, you know it's a Moser. So I think sticking with that design language has worked well for them. However, the perception needs to change a bit. People need to accept Movado a bit more, but I think Movado is a beautiful watch that you can buy, especially if it is your first or second watch, and simply if you love the watch, you should be buying that. There is no question about it. So guys, in this video, we have actually covered 6 watch brands. I do feel that all of these 6 watch brands have good offerings, and you can actually look at these watches and these watch companies as your first watches, and you will never go wrong. So these companies are good. I personally do not prefer to buy watches from companies that are, basically termed as fashion brands, because what they do is they get inventory from China, they stamp their own, logo on it, and they sell it to you. My preference is not to go that route. But however, if you are starting your watch collection, you want to buy something that you really like, you should not be looking for a second opinion. Watches are something that are very, very personal, and you should definitely buy what you like, what you want to wear. However, I'm pretty sure this list of 6 brands will actually help you in making better purchasing decisions. So guys, that is it for this one. I'll be seeing you in another one. Thank you and bye-bye.